47 Weeks, Life and Learnings of a Dietetic Intern. Hey guys, welcome back to 47 Weeks. It's week 29, almost in the 30s. I'm really liking my nutrition education rotation. I'm really liking my nutrition education clinic rotation so far. It's the first of 4 weeks that I'm doing in nephrology. The first 2 are going to be in the nutrition education clinic, so individuals that have renal disease stage 3 to 5. My other 2 weeks are the elective weeks, and those are going to be with individuals that are on hemodialysis. So these people have their kidney disease that's progressed to end stage. And so I imagine nutrition is going to be more difficult there. I think it's a really good idea to pick your electives where you think you're going to need the most work. I knew that renal diets were my weakness, so that's why I wanted to learn more about them. And I really did, except one of the big learnings is that I still don't really know how to feed these people adequately. You know, somebody might have diabetes, so they can't have too many carbohydrates. Individuals with renal disease most likely will die from heart disease, so you can't have too much calories from fat. And you also don't want to give them too much protein sometimes when that'll also damage their kidneys. And then in some individuals, you're also going to be really watching their fluid intake. They can't have too much phosphorus, which is found in all these foods, or potassium found in all these fruits and vegetables, or it's still really hard. This week I also met with my ICU preceptor and we finally signed off my TPN competencies. So that was a big deal because now I would be eligible to do staff relief. Yay! As for the nutrition education clinic, it's been a quiet week. So my preceptor and I found that we were actually, roaming the halls hoping that a doctor or a nurse might come in and just grab us and be, hey, do you want to see this patient? Because a lot of the times patients, after they see a doctor and they've been waiting for their appointment for a few hours, they take off and the dietitian might not even have time to have seen them. This week I've been sitting in with my preceptor and observing her counseling patients on reducing their sodium, their potassium, or maybe the phosphorus in their diet. And I talked to somebody on my own about a sodium restricted diet. I attended a kidney care class, which is a class that nurses or the social worker put on to educate individuals that are newly diagnosed to renal disease on how the kidney works and how all the parts of treatment fit together and how diet plays a role in that. I also went to an education session where there was a bunch of doctors and dietitians working in nephrology, and a doctor spoke about phosphorus in dialysis and whether it actually really matters if it should be controlled that much, or if it maybe doesn't impact the outcomes of their disease as much as we thought. So this is preliminary research, but who knows? And most of the time I've been working on a recipe booklet. So there are renal disease cookbooks that they have a really limited amount of that were developed by another organization, and since these are running out, they're going to need some simple, really easy to print out booklets that they can give to individuals that just don't know what they can cook now that they have kidney disease. So I've been typing out these recipes, and next week I'm going to be doing a nutrient analysis on the recipes that I've picked out from numerous books and compiling them into this one awesome recipe book. There was an individual that wasn't sure if we knew that tomatoes and cucumbers were really high in calories and that a slice of tomato had 6 grams of carbohydrates, and we just had to nod and smile because he wouldn't let us convince him otherwise. Friday was my first time trying on bridesmaid dresses, and there was 2 girls that were surprising the bride-to-be from Ontario, so they flew in and we all spent the afternoon picking our dresses, and then we went out for lunch, and the bride-to-be had hardly any idea, but it turned out great. And Saturday was Skylar's birthday, so we spent the day together. We went to see a movie and then ate some ice cream cake and ate some sushi with our other friends, and it was really special. So my big learning for this week is that just how individualized renal disease can be. You know, someone's diet might be limiting their salt while somebody else might be limiting their potassium and their salt, and somebody else might be limiting their phosphorus, but you don't need to limit what you don't have to until you have to. And what I wondered before is if, you know, somebody should limit salt, but if they limit their other things, maybe it'll slow down the progression of their disease. But that's not true. You really don't have to make somebody limit phosphorus until the renal disease can't manage that. I also learned that if you donate a kidney to somebody, you might end up with renal disease one day because, you know, maybe your body at some point won't be able to handle that. And I've seen that at the clinic. So make sure you consider that if you ever think about donating a kidney. So next week I'm going to be working more on the recipe booklet and counseling more patients. And there's also an intern meeting on Monday, so I get to see all of them there. See you next week, and thanks again for watching. Sustain your body, sustain your life.